Hello, this is Riley Hammond, just doing a quick demonstration of my Module 4 open-ended project for advanced programming. Honestly, the simplest way to start is just running the program so you can visually see what you're looking at. But very broadly, this is a program to represent the game of war in C++ with included graphics. So once the window opens here in a moment, you'll see the rules displayed with a fun mafia theme, just because I thought it was kind of funny. You know, breaking people's kneecaps and all that fun stuff. There's also a press S to start, which I'll use. Now, what you see here is the back of each player's card, basically representing where the deck is set upside down. There's just a bit of a cross design on the back, and then you can see both players' deck size shown. And then there's the front of each player's card that shows the suit and the face value of their current card. What actually happened there is for the initial flip, it tied with both being 3, so both cards were just given back to the original owner. But, see, in this case, a jack beats a 7, so this deck gains a card while this deck loses a card, because both the jack and the 7 are out of this deck. I'll just flip a handful of more times to demonstrate. Now, I could just sit here for 20 minutes spamming flip until one player wins or loses, but instead I just added basically keyboard shortcuts to show the win screen. So in order to win, you simply press N, a winner is you, just stupid reference, or M for losing, a loser is you. S can also bring you back to the screen in case you manage to do it on accident in the middle of testing. I'll just exit out of that. Broadly, the main building blocks of this are graphics, which is the executable, handles all the drawing. Card and deck represent what they think you would, what you think they would, where basically they handle all the cards and decks in the background for both players. There's also quad, button, and circle, which were taken from guided projects in this module, while I created club, diamond, heart, and spade, specifically to represent deck suits. So, graphics.h. It's got the pre-built init.gl, and main, which I just took, like I said, from guided projects. This is just the necessary legwork to initialize the window, set up a timer function to rerun over and over. I've also got init start screen, init turn, win screen, and lose screen. Init start screen draws the instructions. Init turn will draw everything static that's required for gameplay itself. So, for example, the table, the card stacks, the blank front of the cards before any suits or values are added to it, stuff like that. And then the win screen and the lose screen you already saw. It's just a fun little message. Handle turn takes care of the internal logic while the game is going on. So, for example, that's where the cards are flipped over, it compares cards, see who won, it updates the information that's then displayed with into the display method. The display takes the information from handle turn to know what it draws, and then just keyboard and keyboard special for the different keys. Keyboard special isn't actually used here, but keyboard is with the S and an M, as well as escape to exit. Then cursor is mostly used for pressing the button. Cards.h has its constructors, then it has its getters, setters, basically just, like I said, a way to represent cards. Same with deck, as well as functionality to shuffle, to split the deck evenly, check if it's empty. That's how you check if one player's won in this case. What's a bit more interesting is the suits. So I'll actually show how I've implemented it. So for the suits, they have a default constructor, and then a constructor that takes an X value and a Y value for its position. Then it has the constant draw method. So for club, for example, the default constructor just draws it at 50-50. Then this constructor will just save it as XY coordinates. Then it'll draw 3 circles, basically representing the 3 leaves of a clover, which I guess is what a club is in this case. Then it'll draw a little rectangle on the bottom for the base. Diamond, heart, and spade each function similarly, although obviously they're built of different compound shapes. If you like, you can go through it yourself to check. Then the last thing is I'll just do small run through graphics.cpp pointing out the important parts. This is just the instance variables, creating the button, init GL, just creating the window, display, creating the viewport. I'll come back to this in a moment. Then keyboard, this is for escape, close the window. Then S and an M to transition between screens. Init start screen, just display some text to know the player how to play. Init turn, you can see that it's drawing the table, the card backs, and the designs on the back of the cards. Init win screen, just a short message, same with init lose screen. Now, handle turn is where a lot of the internal logic happens with like pulling cards, checking if one's larger. Then it checks, basically it gets the size and it says, okay, if the player has all the cards, they won. If the player has none of the cards, they lost. That's just checking for the win conditions to transition between screens if necessary. Cursor, just cursor and mouse. Just handling like if you're hovering over the button to change color, and it changes color when you press the button, as well as calling handle turn if it's during gameplay. Then time remain, just taken for the nitty gritty back end. Now display, all the way near the top here. Based on this enumerated type status for intro gameplay lost in 1, it'll display it'll call the necessary initializing function, as well as drawing the card suits based on the drawn cards from handle turn, as well as the deck sizes and the face value of the cards, again from handle turn. And then you can see if it's won or it's lost, it'll init the win screen or the lose screen. And that's the basic functionality of my program. Thank you.